Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into another edition of Get Off the Damn Fence. We are here for another week. I'm Larry Carson, your co-host with Calvin Thomas, Justin B. A. the Barber Harris. Gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight?
I'm cool.
What's going on with you? What's going on with y'all? What's going on with y'all?
Man, all is well, man. You know, it's been an interesting week. Been out on a little sabbatical, taking care of a few things, but it's good to be back with you fellas. Everybody hopefully you enjoyed your holiday weekend. The Savior is risen, Jesus is Lord. And I hope that went well for everybody. Spent some time with family. I've seen a lot of people going out, having Easter egg hunts and things of that nature with the little ones. And the weather held up on Saturday. It got kind of rainy on Sunday.
Yeah, we had our
Saturday.
Yeah. And Sunday got.
Well, I hope you all had a great weekend and ready to talk some sports here on a Wednesday night because this is it, man. NBA season is winding down. We have a new national champion in college basketball, men and women. We're going to talk about all the latest stories, but I want to start tonight with the story that really took the country by storm, starting on Friday night. And it's kind of reached its conclusion after a statement was put out by Don Staley and Gino Auriemma on yesterday, saying that they've moved on. But we got to touch on it. We haven't been able to give our comments, but I want to touch on that. And that on Friday night, South Carolina Gamecocks, which has been a premier team in college women's basketball for a few years now, several years now, since Don Staley took that program from the Dundrums and brought it to national prominence. And really put it on the map. And you take that and compare it to what Gino has had at UConn for many years. I mean, dating back to when we were kids, it was Pat Summitt, Gino Auriemma going head to head. That was the two powerhouses in college women's basketball. But Dawn Staley, a black woman from North Philly, as she say, ever since she's burst on the scene in the coaching, she was a player, turned coach, and doing it her way has been a whirlwind. And they beat the UConn Huskies on Friday night. After the game, Gino Auriemma basically had a fit, a temper tantrum. Went off on Dawn, refused to shake her hand, went on the press conference and accused her of not shaking his hand. Video footage come out showed that she in fact did shake his hand, and everybody on his team hugged people, like went the extra mile. But anyway, the conversation around this incident really has gone all different directions, and I want to give you all the floor before I give my thoughts. Calvin, I'll start with you. What was your opinion on what you saw on Friday night, the fallout and everything that it means to not just, racial relations, but, the hierarchy? I mean, it's so many different directions we could take this. But go ahead. However you want to go.
Don Staley has been at South Carolina since I believe 08, 09 roughly. It's about like about 16 years, 15, 16 years. And since then, she's taken that team, I believe, to 4 national titles, been arguably the perennial women's college team in that time period. Have such players, that have gone on to the WNBA, that have starred in the WNBA, MVPs, including Asia Wilson, went to South Carolina and came through that Don Staley program. A program now that rivals Connecticut regularly. A program now that, dare I say, has excelled and gone past Connecticut, at least in development of players, in tradition, and in winning at this point. And when you're challenged at the top, and you're used to running things, and used to getting your way, and used to getting all the players that you want, used to going undefeated, and you're finally challenged, you don't know how to respond. That's one reason why Friday night happens, because you're not used to losing. You're not used to not getting your way whenever you want to, during the game, after the game, before the game, whatever the case may be. And then when you're challenged by not someone that you believe is your contemporary, but someone you believe is a step below you, because they're black or because they're a woman, however you choose to look at it, then you decide to I'm going to put out my story. I'm going to put out my smear campaign. I was a big UConn fan, big Geno fan, just because they were a winning program. But even still, even when he had Pat Summitt, and you go back to Candace Parker and some of their comments and how Pat got along with Geno and how they had their rivalry and how he didn't look at her as her equal until later on in her coaching career. You realize maybe he just has a problem with someone that he doesn't, and he's not winning and he's not getting his way. This is his second instance, and both instances involve women coaches. Women coaches, you can make the argument, are the best in their profession, period. Not best in their time, not best in the decade, but just best, period. Pat Summitt and Dawn Staley, one of a kind, two of a kind. And when you see what happens, and the common denominator becomes you in every situation, then we got to stop saying, "Hey, this was an accident. This is a one-off." You have a problem when being challenged by a woman, or you have a problem when you're being challenged. Period. When someone looks at you as your equal, and they beat the brakes off them, it wasn't like it was close. Now, I didn't realize Connecticut played that soft of a schedule. Didn't really keep up with it until everything went down Friday. But this is just a black stain on for Gina Auriemma. South Carolina did their thing, and women's coaches, Dawn Staley, Pat Summitt, when they challenge this guy and things don't go his way, we see how it happens. So we gotta start holding. Gino has to be held accountable for his actions. He released a statement, apologized, quote unquote, didn't even acknowledge her in the apology, but he called Dawn. Dawn Staley said they talked. So if she's okay with the apology, I can't take it past there. But we got to hold Gino accountable. This shouldn't happen, especially when you're someone of your caliber and you're threatened by a woman coach, another program that's going to excel past yours. This can't happen.
What you think, Justin?
Well, it's all one of that. It's all fine and dandy when you win it, right? So They won last year. They destroyed them last year. This is the give back. Like, this is supposed to be just I want to say a friendly rivalry. You don't have to be friends, but this is supposed to be a highly competitive rivalry. And we just go back and forth. Who gets the best players? Who time is it to shine? Whatever the case. And it's not that, because Gino took it to a way that it shouldn't have been taken to. And this is the time where I guess as a whole we gotta stand up for Dawn, because it's not her fight, although it technically is because of your position. You don't have to fight that fight. Let the media take over. Let social media take over. Let your fans take over, because majority of it is on your side. Gino knows he's dead wrong. Gino knows he was dead wrong in that situation. And when you react like that, when you have outbursts like that, I really wish the NCAA or powers that be come down and throw some sanctions down. And that will really get them to understand what's going on. You're on a national stage. You're at the Final Four. Like, all eyes is on this situation, and you sullied our brand. This is when I wish that it was a little bit like the NFL. So our brand took a hit because of that. Because that's just how it looked. It tarnished the whole Final Four. People was talking about that versus the outcome. People rarely care that UCLA won after that. It's circled back around to that, and that's the problem. So, maybe taking some restrictions on their recruiting class, something like that. They'll do it. They'll do it right away. And that's the type of punishment that should have been ditched out. But I get it; they're not going to do that. So it's all about money, and not then you. I don't expect you going to do anything like that, especially the cachet that he built there. So they're not going to do anything. So that's why I would like the upper body to do that. So. Like I said, no, you ain't got to say too much. You already said you was going to kick his ass, and we believe you. No one in here does not believe that you can kick this older white man's ass. I believe you can. But, you was unfairly targeted off of things that was proven. I'm glad the media took time to show every part that he was arguing about was just wrong. From the girl ripping her own shirt and all this other stuff. Yeah. He was just flat out embarrassed, and he reacted the way out of embarrassment. And there's no excuse for that. I don't care what the reason is. The embarrassment unveiled your true self, and this is how you really feel. So, if I'm a recruit, honestly, if my daughter's playing basketball, and UConn was like we were signed, sealed, delivered to UConn. I'm withdrawing that, and I'm saying we're gonna put your name back out there. If you're good enough to play for UConn, you're good enough to play for any other organization. If they want you, everybody else wants you. So we're going somewhere else. And I think they should definitely go that route. They probably won't, but you see what he's saying behind closed doors. If you're not like I hate to say it, but if you're not like a great white hope when it comes to women's basketball, if you're not the Tarasis of the world, if you're not Stewart, Breonna Stewarts of the world and stuff like that, the Lobos of the world, if you're not like that, then don't go. Don't go. You shouldn't go on GP alone, but don't go. Go to South Carolina. They're the ones that's hot right now. They're the new hot. Let's go there. And then you could be there. Boston went there. Asia Wilson went there. The best players in the league right now, they ain't coming from UConn. Just it is what it is. So let's just go with that and keep it moving, man.
Yeah, I agree. Y'all both hit the nail on the head. It's just unfortunate, man, that we really don't know, because it's kind of overshadowed the job the UCLA did, because they actually outplayed South Carolina national title game. Shout out to them. They the champions. They won. But we don't know what impact all of this circus had on South Carolina. That after that Friday night, everything was done. The distraction is what it is. Not an excuse, but they lost. They took it on the chin. Worst loss in her career. It's unfortunate that that's how the season had to end. After a big victory, never really got to celebrate it on Friday night. Just was in a whirlwind all the way through. Then to get blown out on Sunday. Just a tough loss, man. I'm rooting for Dawn Staley for obvious reasons, and we hope that they bounce back next year. But I will say this. The fact that he doubled down and it took him so long to apologize, you get no points, bro. I think it's going to be tough. Like you said, I think recruits saw that. I think for him to get a certain type of player is going to be very, very different. I'm not saying he won't get them, but I think it took a hit on Sunday, and especially Monday when he put out that statement. Man, that was bad. Damage control kicked in on Tuesday, but it was a day too late for sure. 2 days too late, to be honest. Anyway, so final thoughts on shout out to UCLA, got a big victory. They are national champions. They outplayed South Carolina completely in that big game. And like Dawn Staley said, they got an excellent coach over there at UCLA who did her job. Because if you watch that semifinal game, that was some ugly basketball, man. I was like, man, either one of these teams don't get smoked when they make it to either UConn or South Carolina. And for UCLA to come out there and play like they did the national title game, shout out to them, man. Yeah. They brought their hard hat and they went to work. I mean, they couldn't miss, man. They was hitting everything. I mean, it was a smoker from the jump. But anyway, if y'all go ahead.
Real quick, because you said last word, we don't know the effects of that incident when it comes to the energy levels and things like that of the team. Yeah. Like they have to answer those questions too. Did you see what happened? They in press conferences. Hey, how did you feel about this? How did you feel about that? Yeah. And your head coach is being victimized like that, especially as a black woman, and you're looking at another black woman being victimized by a white male. Like their energy levels was depleted. I'm not giving no excuse. UCLA won that game, but who's to say that didn't have anything to do with it?
They came out lethargic, like tired. Like
you can look at it. Yeah. Like and that's a distraction. I don't care what we always talk about. When you're a high level athlete like that, you want the least. You don't want your routine interrupted. You want to keep things as regular as possible. I don't care if it's a national title game, Super Bowl, whatever. You try to stay as true to your regular schedule. Everything about from Friday night on was a circus. And you can't say they had to come to the defense of their coach. They had to come to the defense of, you know what I mean? You personally weren't impacted. So to say that, now that could work one of two ways. And I can admit that. You would hope that they would be like, we're going to go out there and do this for coach. You know what I mean? But everybody not built like that. You know what I mean? They human. So it is what it is. Shout out to them. They'll be back. They had some players that already said they want to get them back next year. We'll see where it goes. Let's move over to the men's side. Shout out to Calvin. Took your hat to the man. You know what I mean? You picked Michigan from the jump. Congratulations. I had Arizona. Arizona got absolutely
destroyed.
Mollywopped. Like, they didn't show up. They didn't show up. Arizona had been beating everybody by double figures the whole tourney.
Then they turn around and
they
lose by double
get up
figures.
to the national title game and get smoked like that. I have no excuse, man. Everything on the scouting report was obvious. It was consistent. And Michigan just was the better team. At the end of the day, that's what more can you say at that? Calvin, tell us what you saw.
Look, Michigan has played well all year. I think they had a favorable bracket that allowed them to get to the Final Four. And then when you get to Arizona, and then they were up 20 points at one point during the game, but they won by 18, 19, something like that. So it was just a complete and utter and great performance by Michigan on Saturday night, and then it led into the championship game on Monday against UConn, which was a hard-fought game. You can tell both teams were nervous. Glad to see the Fab Five, back together once again over the weekend as well. But Michigan was the best basketball team all year long, in my opinion, the best college basketball team, and they truly showed it during March Madness and in the national championship game. So,
Justin, what you think?
Just like Calvin said, a hard-fought victory. You cannot, when you was watching this game, I don't know, I was watching it, and I was like, yo, I don't know whether they're nervous. I don't know whether the defense is playing spectacular. It was a lot of missed shots. It was a lot of missed shots. Like, it was no type of flow to the game. If you're not necessarily like a purist of the game, like you really love basketball, then you probably get turned off from this game. But when you just see them so you look past that, so you look at the emotional side and things like that. Like those boys was giving everything they had, and unfortunately, I was wrong. I did want UConn to win just because they kicked Duke ass. But at the end of the day, Michigan was the better team. They performed better. Committed less things, less turnovers. They played more aggressive when needed. Shot better from the free throw line when it counted. So at the end of the day, they did enough to win, and UConn did not. So I'm not caping off for UConn or anything whatsoever. Michigan, I'm glad they won. Like Calvin said, I'm not trying to echo everything, but it was great to see the Fab Five was that they buried the hatchet finally amongst all of them. You know what I'm saying? And it was always centered around Chris Webber. And he was there smiling and all this other stuff. And it's just like that, as a black man, it was just good to see that they was able to bury that and actually become, enjoy that moment in which, they missed out on. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool to see. And when you look back, man, that team is so important to what we know as, college basketball. Like, I mean, my earliest memories was that, you know what I mean? Like, just really paying attention to that team with Duke, Christian Laettner, Grant Hill. That time frame right there was like so impactful. And for that team not to be getting there just due because of everything we found out with the scandals and all that kind of stuff, I'm glad they were able to bury that hatch and the NCAA at least put a spotlight on them, because they kind of shy away from scandal a lot of times, you know what I mean? So it was long overdue. We've seen Chris Webber on national television, Jalen Rose, you know what I mean? Jerron Howard, he's had his issues the last few years. And the fact that he should have been the coach of that team, you know what I mean, that won that says something too. But for him, all of them to be there supporting, that was cool to see. All right, let's keep it moving. The NBA is winding down. I believe the play-in tournament starts the 14th.
Did somebody else get hurt?
Yeah, Tuesday. Somebody got hurt?
I don't know. It seems like everybody get hurt. Like at least every 3 days, somebody getting hurt. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I think some of this was playoff season was kind of locked in, and I think some people was just resting, saying that they out for the playoffs, and people wasn't even paying attention to the fact that it's only a week left. Like, I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? I think Luka. I think he'll be back. I think Austin Reed, that's touch and go. I think that's touch and go. But you don't think Luka's going to be back?
I don't think anyone going to be back.
At all.
Nope. Once I heard Luka going back home, I was like, yeah, he's done.
I don't think he'll be back. They're not going to make it out the first round. So you're not going to have a chance to come back.
I don't know, man.
I figured he got hurt last week. The playoffs start a week from
the play-in starts Tuesday.
The playoffs start a week from Saturday, so that's a little over 2 weeks. You're talking about a hamstring that takes 4 weeks. They'd be out the playoffs by then.
But do we know how severe? I think once he was already going to miss that 65-game rule, I think they just shut him down.
Nah,
you really think that you believe the reports that much?
I don't think. I think they were playing well enough as to where you don't want to risk the chemistry.
They couldn't go no higher. I mean,
correct. Yeah, no, I agree. But I don't think you want to risk the chemistry of them right now. So I don't think they, and especially if he's hurt, I think you want Austin Reeves playing and vice versa. I don't think you wanted both of them being out. So I believe it. Like I said, I don't think he's playing the rest of the year because I think they lose in 4 or 5 in the first round.
All right. Well, Justin, I'll start with you. We're going to talk about this play-in. Who's going to be the teams in the play-in? Let's look at these standings, see where we at. How do you see this thing shaking out? The last couple in, who's going to lock this thing down? Anybody out who might be in? Is everything pretty much settled? What's your thoughts?
So we got right now for the Western Conference, it looks like, for sure. Phoenix, Clippers, Blazers, and the Warriors. Those are going to be the 4. I think we talked before, and I definitely went with Clippers and the Warriors. Seeing how Steph is playing, I'll still go with that. Of course, I don't think the Trailblazers going to do anything. They're just happy to be in this position right now. And I think the Clippers end up getting that 7th seed. So I think Phoenix is the odd one out. Unfortunately, they had a good season, but you know what I'm saying. Dylan Brooks getting, touching earth like he did against KD was just a foreshadowing sign that the whole team was going to go down with that later on. So that's not necessarily the best omen when it comes to that. So, I'm gonna stand behind that. I'm gonna say Clippers just gets that quick seed so they can lock up the 7th seed, and then the Warriors battle out to get to the 8th seed. Unfortunately, it's gonna be easy out for them because they go against the Thunder. Clippers and Spurs should be fun to watch, though. That should be at least an entertaining first round series with that. Eastern Conference, the play-in teams we have, it's still shaky when it comes to 5-6 because the Hawks are sitting at 12 games out and the Raptors are 13. So that's shaky. But let's say for right now, the Raptors, let's go to 76ers, Magic, Hornets, and Heat. Those are the 4 teams. But like I said, the Hawks and the Raptors are like right there as well. So it could be like from 5 to 10 can still fluctuate a little bit. But let's just call it what it is as of right now. 76ers, I think they close it out. So I think they maintain the 7th spot, and that's a first round matchup with Boston. So that's going to at least be entertaining. I don't got Magic doing it, man. Pablo ain't the same Pablo as we talked about last week. And he normally find a way. They find a way, and they got somebody that can give you 83 points, and that's important. That no one thinks that he's going to be able to do that ever again. So I would like to see, for the sake of basketball, I would love to see the Hornets maintain will take the 8th spot, and then our Pistons versus the Hornets in the first round series with a large possibility without having Cade Cunningham. So you have a depleted Pistons team versus a full-fledged Hornets team. And that could be signs for an easy first round exit for them.
I think Cade will be ready.
You think he's gonna be ready? Have they say he's gonna be?
He's playing tonight, or
he's playing tonight. He's already back.
Yeah.
Okay, back. So he's good.
Confirmed. I heard it earlier.
Not 100% though. I don't care what you say.
He's playing.
I don't care what you say. He ain't 100%. So let's go with the Hornets taking that first round upset. I'm still gonna call it.
Okay. What you think, Calvin?
In the West, I got the Clippers and Golden State 7-8, similar to Justin. Portland is going to be happy to be there, and I don't see them beating Golden State when Steph's the best player on the court, and Steph has had time to rest and recover from his injury, the same injury that Anthony Edwards is currently dealing with right now. So watch out for what happens with Minnesota in the playoffs. In the East, I thought there was a chance Philly gets out of the play-in. Gets to the 6th seed, but I think that everyone is playing basically teams that are tanking. so it's going to be hard for any team to lose. I think Toronto plays New York, and I think New York still wants to win to avoid falling to the 4th seed, especially with Cleveland winning or leading tonight, and they'll be tied after tonight. So I still got Philly in the play-in. I think they're going to beat Orlando or Toronto, whoever is the 7th seed. So I got Philly as the 7th seed going to the playoffs, and I got Charlotte going as the 8th seed. That Boston Philly matchup is going to be interesting. When you have a healthy Maxey, if Maxey comes back, Embiid and Paul George, it'll be an interesting matchup. It may go 6 or 7. I'm not picking Philly yet. Just let me see how Maxey looks. And then with Detroit and Charlotte, look, if you tell me K's not 100%, and you got Knipple, you got Melo. I love Melo. I can't call him Melo. And then you got Brandon Miller. That's a dangerous young team that's playing for nothing. Like, no one expected them to make the playoffs or play-in or playoffs. So that could be a longer series that's unnecessary for Detroit and could really hurt them if they win and go to the second round, especially if you have Cade playing more games than he really needs to. So I'll call that when we get there, but I got Philly and Charlotte making that 7-8 seed and making the playoffs.
Okay. I like that. So y'all consensus is the Clippers and the Phoenix Suns.
Golden State.
You got Golden State. Yeah. Phoenix is in there already, right?
No.
Phoenix is a 7-8. Yeah, they're 7-8.
They'll be one of the ones out.
I don't know. It's something about Golden State I don't like, especially in the play-in opportunity. They don't do well with that. I like Phoenix and the Clippers, but they might be lined up.
So
right now they are.
Yeah.
So what? Don't 7 play 8?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They probably lined up.
And then the
loser plays out of that to take the 7th.
Yes.
So let's say Clippers win that. So Phoenix still got another chance, though.
Yeah, they do get another chance.
They still get another chance. So Phoenix,
I like Phoenix.
Play Warriors, and then that'll be your matchup right there.
I'm not high on the Warriors. I know.
No doubt.
I know Steph looked good the other night. He looked good the other night, and they still lost. You know what I mean? Like that was the Houston. And Houston ain't no barn burner. You know what I mean? Like I just don't believe that. Over in the East is more competitive, but I think Charlotte, they played well against Boston last night. I watched that whole game, and they faltered down the stretch because, again, when you got that many players, and they got players.
Wasn't that the game LaMelo had like 30 going to the 4th or something like that?
Yeah, people was rolling. And then all of a sudden the 4th quarter happened. And you had nobody who was like, I'm the guy. Give me the ball. Watch out the way. I'll get us home. I just need to see more of that for me to have faith in a single, not even a single. This is a double elimination tournament in the play-in. You know what I mean? You got to win. If you lose, you get another chance. You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to be tough, man. I think they could beat the Miami if they line up with them. But Philly, if Joel is on, man, that's a tough one, man. I don't have no faith in Orlando. So I'll go Charlotte and Philly. Is that where y'all was at?
That's what I had. I had Philly 7, Charlotte 8.
And Justin, you had who?
Philly and Charlotte.
Okay, we all the same.
So let me ask you a question. Because Philly, we gotta ask this question for Philly. Does Philly look at that Boston matchup and say, you know, if we sit somebody, even though it's a play-in, we lose that first game. So whoever the 8th seed is right now, they take the 7th.
No.
And then like, all right, let's win out. Let's win out.
Nah, you can't play. You
don't
can't
want
do
to leave
that.
it down to one game.
You can't do that.
You don't want to leave it down to one game.
Anything can happen in one game.
You don't want to trust the process. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
When the last time you trusted the process? What has the process gotten you besides second round exits?
You got to get to the second round, right?
So you prefer to play Detroit?
So I'm saying I look at Detroit and I look at Boston with Tatum back. I'm taking Detroit. That's all I'm saying.
I think that particular team in Philly, they don't want to see Detroit. Detroit too defensive minded, like inside.
That's true.
Inside.
They are defensive minded. Calvin, they are defensive minded.
They're defensive minded, but
score enough. Like, I know they put up 137 tonight. I'm not saying that.
They can score.
It was against Milwaukee. Like that's giving up on the season, which we should definitely talk about.
I guess how I look at it, if you're Detroit and the best player on the court is Cade, the next 3 are from Philly. Like I don't know if
Maxey.
Okay, but if you go up against Boston, they might put Tatum at the 5. Like you never know what they might do. Like at least against.
I mean, I think that plays in the Phillies' hands.
That's my point.
I can spread the court.
That's my point.
Yeah, I would prefer Boston. I prefer Boston.
Yeah, I don't want to play Detroit.
I think MB looks at Jalen Durham and like, look, like you might be hot out here in these streets, but you're not on my. I'm about to give you 30 and 12.
They can pull that goon off the bench, and he gonna give him a long night, right? Like
he gonna give him 30 and 12 too.
I'm just saying,
he might have like 50 over the series.
He gonna have MB camping out at the 3-point line. I'm telling, like, I'd rather if I'm MB. Give me Boston all day.
Boston, okay.
We
had to get it out before it starts. I had to throw it out there to see what happens.
I'm just saying, if I'm Philly and I'm worried about a physical matchup with that glass team they got, who if you blow on them hard enough, they might blow, that knee might fall off. You pause. God damn. If you air goes in that direction too hard, the wind comes gusting through. An injury might take place. Like, no.
The breakdown of that sentence.
I got it. I just do it out there.
You got to cover all bases around here. But yeah. I'm sorry, I got a message from somebody. Anyway, pick it up. What's some other stories been going around the league this week?
I wanted to since we just brought up Milwaukee, right, for losing tonight. I'm shocked and appalled, and I'm hearing that the NBA is starting to look into this, as they should. Milwaukee is shutting down Giannis for the rest of the season. Giannis says he's 100% healthy. That's a problem right then and there. So you're saying that you must be tanking. So you have to have some type of repercussions when it comes to tanking. Now I know Dallas got hit up with some sanctions, and they might have paid like $100,000 for admitting to tanking. When they got their last 7-footer that they drafted, I forget his name.
Cooper Fleck.
No, not him. No, it was before that.
Oh, you talking about Derek Lively?
Yes, they tanked to get him because New York was looking at that draft pick and we couldn't get it. So I vividly remember that. So if that's the case, like teams shouldn't be able to do that. So like if the player saying I'm 100% healthy, what is the league to do at that point? I'll leave that to y'all to talk about.
Okay, I'll rebut that by saying this first. When was the last time AD and Trey played? So was Giannis. When was the last time?
Giannis says he's not.
Okay. Look,
Trey AD didn't say that they're healthy.
Let me say this: the problem is we have a player that knows he knows he wants out versus a team that's saying the best way we can rebuild post Giannis is by getting a better draft pick, and by getting to get a better draft pick, we have to sit Giannis. And this is Giannis's fault for going back and forth by wanting out of Milwaukee for the last year and a half. If you would just stick to your word and say I want out, then go ahead. Instead of going this back and forth, I never said I wanted out. I love Milwaukee. They're going to love you regardless. Just say you want out. We know that it's not a winning basketball organization, even with Dame last year. Just stick to your word and say you want out. This back and forth is why you're in the situation as it is. You may be healthier to play, but Milwaukee's saying we need to get this draft pick in order to be better post you. And I don't have a problem with that because if you weren't there, this wouldn't be an issue. Giannis just say you want out. That's it.
The man said he's healthy, he can play. And they
what if he doesn't want out? I think that is the thing that I think
he's wavering too much to make a decision. Get off the damn.
Has he wavered? When did he say it?
Yes, he has, because he's putting it out through his representatives that he wants out, but he's going to come out and say the right thing. Your representative is a reflection on you. So if they're going and searching for a trade, if they reached out to New York, if they reached out to Golden State, if they reached out to Miami, it's not because they wanted to, it's because you directed them to do that. But then you're on the other side trying to play nice in Milwaukee so they can love you forever, so they can say you're the best buck ever, you're better than Kareem because you brought us a ring in 50 years, you have 2 MVPs. Just decide what you want to do. Just say it. Don't be this, I'm going to be this way with one person and this way behind closed doors. Don't do that. That's all. That's the problem I have.
I hear you, but again, I'm always, y'all know me. Y'all been podcasting with me long enough. When Kawhi left San Antonio, I was furious. When LeBron left Cleveland to go to LA, I was hot. I'm going to give the guy credit for trying to make it work in Milwaukee. Why not? If you can try to make it work at home, it's better for the league. It's not better for the league for the best players to all migrate to the same location and create these quote unquote mini super teams that don't really amount to nothing no more like they used to. So it is best for him to stay in Milwaukee. They do what they got to do to build around him. I think it's best for the league. I really do.
It's not best for him to not compete for titles. Giannis has not won a playoff series since 2021. He's lost. He's lost as the 1 or 2 seed to Miami twice.
That's on him.
Okay, it's on injury. It's on him. But my point is, don't argue with your organization because they're doing what's best for you when it's clear that you're doing what's best for you as well. With trying to decide which team you want to go to before the trade deadline.
I mean,
that's the only problem I had. If he said he wanted to stay in Milwaukee, fine. If he said but just make a decision. That's all I'm asking. Make a decision so we know where you stand.
If you want to stay and they trying to make the team better, you do got to rock with that. I mean, I that's just how the game is set up until they change the rules. The problem with that, this ain't the NFL where you just have the worst record and it guarantees you're going to get the best player. You're going into the lottery. It's not even a guarantee. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. It doesn't always work like that. You know what I mean? Like the San Antonio fix don't work for every team. You know what I mean? Like only San Antonio can pull Tim Duncan and Wemby. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Pick the right year.
And David
Robinson. And then this other problem I have. If you're Milwaukee, hell, if you're Washington, the time to tank was the last 3 years where you had Wemby, you had Cooper Flag, and you got 4 players that go number 1 this year. That was the time to tank, or that was the time to try to build your team through the draft. But look, do we all agree Giannis not going to be there next year? Can we say that?
I can't say that.
Okay.
I will think that he's out this offseason.
I think he's gone. I think we won't know the team until the first round of playoffs. I think
if New York wins or not.
Okay. I mean, I'd say the same thing about Houston and OKC, San Antonio.
I still think
all those teams.
All right, I get it. All right,
I think the price is falling, so y'all got a better shot. I say that.
What y'all willing to give up though? That's what I'm saying. Like it's going to take a king's ransom to get him.
And the team that really needs to look out for is Portland. I think that's the team you really got to look out for.
They got assets. They got
Milwaukee's assets.
That's my point.
They got Milwaukee's assets. So
it depends on if they do the move and then they just say like, all right, Giannis, you about to head to what's up. I know he doesn't have any power, but his power is I can have it. But as soon as I'm able to get out, I want out.
Yeah, he only got 1 year left, so he got power.
So then that's the catch-22.
If you're going to do it, yeah, it'll be interesting. Speaking of, LeBron James has been playing pretty well, but at the end of the day, will he be moving this offseason? And if so, where? Calvin, I know that's your team. What have you been hearing?
I've heard he's open to coming back to LA. There has been outside talk of a Giannis trade, which I think Giannis has to say, I want to go here, trade me here for it to happen. But there's been talk about him coming back because there are no other options. Golden State is not an option. No, Steph is not signing for LeBron retirement tour. That's Steph's team. Regardless of whether or not LeBron wants to go there, that's Steph's team, that's Steph's city. Cleveland doesn't really fit because you have 2 people that are already established at the power forward center position, and we know LeBron can no longer play on the wing. So it's almost as though it's LA by default. And this and at a salary that LA prefers, which allows them to continue to build. But I think that it's going to be LA by default at this point. I think there's key players to watch as well. Like what happens with Kawhi on his contract, I think. Is that going to be something that's going to be, defaulted based off the censure rumors and story that came out earlier this year? I think that he wants to stay in LA or go to San Francisco and go to Golden State. But in regards to LeBron, I think he's back in LA at this point because that's the team that best benefits from a retirement tour. And we know what they can do because we saw them do it with Kobe. So it's LA by default at this point.
What you think, Justin?
Does LA want him?
At the right price, yes. Because of how he can play, how they've seen him play with Luka and AR. Yes.
If you telling me, I'm not saying that the ones out there. I'm just like hypothetically speaking. There's an OG out there. Yeah, I know how I feel about OG. Mm-hmm. I will get rid of LeBron and James in a heartbeat for anyone that's of the OG ilk.
They got to trade for him though. Trade for OG.
Not necessarily OGs, not necessarily him himself. I would just say hypothetically speaking, someone that can play defense, marginally well. Dylan, I will let him go for Dylan Brooks if I could. That's what I'm saying. I don't need LeBron James when I have Luka and AR. Those are offensive. They're offensive weapons. I need defense. I need someone to sit in the chair night in, night out, and let's go with this. In a sense, we don't have that. That's going to be our Achilles heel until we address it. So LeBron James being there, I don't need you. You're a luxury right now to a team that don't need him.
I completely agree with everything you said, but a LeBron James retirement tour sells tickets.
And some teams going to bite on that. Some team going to bite on that. Every team don't sell out.
I completely agree with everything you're saying. No, but I don't even think it's some team. It's the team LeBron wants. So
that's what I'm saying. Cleveland will be the team.
Anyway. I don't think Cleveland's the team.
I think Cleveland's the team, man. Or Miami.
I think I don't think Cleveland does it because Cleveland is still. The only way Cleveland does it if they feel like they owe LeBron something, because I feel like they're still competing, and that doesn't help them win the title when it's a LeBron farewell tour, because now LeBron has to play X amount of minutes. He's got to be in every city, so on and so forth. In LA, it's a little different because I know how he can fit with the Luka and with the AR, and I know every fourth or fifth night I can have him go off. So it's easier to have him mesh in that situation versus putting him in Cleveland, and now I've got to mesh with Donovan Mitchell, who it's his team, but it's LeBron's retirement tour. And now I got to worry about how this works. I think Luka's okay with it. He's like, look, it's your retirement tour. You're done. It's my city. And we know it's my city.
I think LeBron can play with James. And I think he definitely can make it work. I really do.
You talk about LA. You brought up Cleveland. Does Miami make a phone call?
That's what I'm saying, Miami.
I think they still got to – in LeBron's mind, I think they still got to compete for a title, theoretically. So –
could he help that team the way they currently comprise? No. All right. Well, why not this?
It would be in New York before Miami.
Here goes a team that needs to sell tickets, who needs the good publicity. Trade his ass to Memphis. You know what I mean? He would enjoy it, wouldn't he?
Don't know. He just came out and said that that's one of the top places he does not want to play for. And
he ain't the only one that said that. So
a lot of people said it. Like they've been killing this man. I'm like, bro. I mean, I'm sure places I could visit a lot of places in the United States. Certain places not on my bucket list. You know what I mean? Now I'm not saying I wouldn't go to Memphis. There's a lot of historic value to Memphis. But if I had to go multiple times a year, I don't know if I would do that. But anyway, let's move on. The MVP race is coming down the stretch.
It's a wrap.
A lot of people saying it's a wrap, man.
It's a wrap.
Man, that big guy in Denver, he sure is putting forth his case, man. Y'all talking Wemby. Y'all talking Shea got it locked up. I don't know, man.
It's a wrap.
This guy is doing something we've never seen. Like, at his efficiency. Like, I don't think this. Let's really talk about this, because I heard them talk about it a little bit on Gil's Arena the other day, and I was like, man, when it all said and done, where would you be able to rank Joker? Like,
this is a good question,
bro. Like,
this is a good
question.
This
man has been consistently great.
What do you mean rank?
Like
all time,
like center, like.
Oh, yeah. Center or all time overall?
No, just center.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we ain't like get into the overall, but just as
I want the overall, because I want somebody to make an argument he's top 10 overall. That's what I don't see.
He's not.
I don't see it yet. He's not done playing.
No, I don't. I don't see another MVP or a ring for him. So I think this is it in regards to those type of accolades.
So he can't win another MVP.
I don't think he. I don't think he
always
will
one play away from winning. Like
I don't think. The problem I have is like SG. We think SGA is going to win this year.
He took Thunder to 7 games last year.
Okay, regular season. What does that have to do with the regular season?
In the playoffs.
Oh, okay. I mean, I still don't think he's going under the ring. Like San Antonio is coming. Oklahoma City is here. Boston will be back.
Did you not just see what Jokic did to Wemby the other day?
I had to eat that pause. Like I was like, oh, this is.
That's perfectly fine. If you put the number at 0.5 rings for the remainder of his career, I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the over.
I'm taking the under. I don't see him. If it's not this year, it does not happen, and I don't think it happens this year.
In the NBA that we have today, where all these guards are shoot first guards, so you can replace a Jamal Murray with a better version of Jamal Murray. I ain't gonna say that. He hasn't done anything without Jamal Murray. I ain't gonna say that. I said a better version of Jamal Murray. So someone that can score to a higher clip.
Okay. They haven't done that yet.
There's guards come out every year.
Okay.
Ain't no difference if Donovan Mitchell was on his team. Same results.
That's fine.
Man is underappreciated. Man, he's underappreciated. Could you imagine? And I'm a Tim Duncan fan. If you look at what this guy Jokic has done, numbers wise, his numbers blow away Tim Duncan's. It's not even close.
You know I agree with you. The problem I have is when he won his first MVP and they said he should win the MVP because he played all 72 games. That just rubbed me the wrong way. Come on, we have no stats to back this up.
But he's added on to that. Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. I said he shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have won 3 straight. I agree with that. He shouldn't have beat SGA 2 years ago. That's my thoughts. I've learned. You can
make an argument. He could win it every year. That's the.
I can make an argument. LeBron should have won every year.
And why is LeBron? LeBron was considered. He's considered 1 or 2 all time. We're not talking about is LeBron top 10. Like if we're making an argument for a guy that can win it every year. You're not debating is he a top 10 player. You're talking about this is historic great.
Where does he fit center wise for you?
Top 5 right now, and I think he's still playing. So I can make an argument. He might not be 5. Like again, I didn't watch.
Who are the top 4 to 4 ahead of him? Not in no
it's
order.
So hard for me to judge because I didn't. The league was different. The competition was different. So who do you say? But you can compare it to today's game. How many big men technically are there in the league? The center position is taking a dip. So
3?
you can kind of compare what Jokic is doing today to what Wilt did back there. But we give Wilt the benefit of the doubt because, hey, the numbers are the numbers. You know what I mean? Like Bill Russell, he won a lot of titles, man. He won.
Shaq.
He was a winner.
Shaq,
dominant. I will never.
I'm tempted to say Hakeem. I'm tempted to say Hakeem.
Hakeem won more.
Hakeem and Kareem. That to me, that's 4.
You got to win more.
That was 5.
That
was 4. No. I said from the beginning, I don't know what I can do at Wilt. Wilt is different.
Okay.
Wilt won more.
He did win more, but in his era, like
who you saying one more? You're saying one more is better?
All of them won more.
Wilt won 2 titles.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. No, Wilt only had 1. No,
he got 2.
He won with LA.
He got 2. Yeah, he got 2.
And he won in Milwaukee, right?
No, he won in Philly. With Philly? Golden State?
Yeah, Philly. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I got Kareem. He won 6 with multiple MVPs. Shaq.
Less MVPs.
But I watched Shaq. Come on.
We all did.
Hakeem.
I did.
More rings, less MVPs.
Those are the only 3 I can say.
Yeah, 1 MVP.
Definitively, with my eyes, I can see those 3 guys were better. I'll put Bill Russell because he's Bill Russell. But other than that, Jokic is right there. Like
that's what I think. I think I have him 6. To be honest with you,
he could be right outside the top 5. He's not done.
Top 5.
Yeah. I got everything he ever said plus Will. He's battling Moses Malone in that era. So I think, but that's like the tier like right below them. Like I said, so I have him above him. So 6'7", that's what I have.
Right. Would you have Tim over him if they play the same position?
We talking about centers.
Talking about centers. We want including power forwards.
Yeah. As I've been on multiple shows and said Tim Duncan should be considered a goddamn center. But they want to have him at that power forward position to safely give him the best power forward of all time.
Yeah, he power forward.
Safely give him the best
he
power
was
forward.
never a center. He might
Once
guard
you put him in
Shaq
that
here
center
and there.
category against
He was
Shaq,
never a
but
center.
he's the
If
best.
you put him in he would be top 5.
It's different than saying I'm the best power forward of
You're
all
right.
time.
You're right. But I mean, there's a gap between Tim Duncan and the next best power forward. In my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. It's a safe bet. If I'm Tim Duncan,
you're hesitating. There's a gap. I don't care who you consider two. There's a gap.
Put him in the center. That gap gets erased. Like
you're right.
You're right. Questions now. So instead of saying arguably the best center,
you're right.
I'm safely saying I'm the best power forward of all time.
Safely with a gap.
Yeah, easily.
It's a gap.
Easily.
I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be fair.
I'm not being fair. It's a gap. It is a huge gap.
Tim Duncan, and then it's Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Garnett, Giannis. It's like they got to battle out for number 2.
And this is why Giannis leaves Milwaukee, because he can escape that group and be comfortably number 2.
Especially if he wins another one. Yes.
You win another ring and you another top 3-5 finish MVP. You got 2 DPOYs, 2 MVPs, 2 rings.
Yeah, he's one more away from just
definitely a lot better. You really distinguish yourself at that point. You don't think so?
Especially
if he gets another ring, who's ahead of him?
New York. Outside of
he wants to go. Outside of Tim, if he wins nothing, who's ahead of him?
I didn't consider him a power forward for a long time. I thought he was a small forward because that's the position he was playing. He was playing like that stretch forward position early in his career.
Small forward, like the first one.
I think he went more power forward when he won the title. I think they moved him like in the Phoenix series for sure. He was playing power forward.
They played center in the Phoenix series. He was guarding.
That's what I'm saying. He moved, but early in his career, Giannis was like LeBron. You know what I mean? Like that's when he couldn't shoot. But he could like do all that other stuff, you know what I mean? He just was so emphatic at the rim.
But even that Phoenix series, they had Bridges playing the 4.
They went small because you had.
Starting like that, they had Bridges playing the 4. So it kind of.
But I'm just saying, just calling him the second best power forward.
If he gets another ring, I think it's no doubt.
I don't think he's better than Dirk. I don't think he's better than KG.
He's better than Dirk defensively. He's better than KG defensively. In his prime, he was better.
Prime
than
KG was a
in
great
his prime. He was better than KG.
He was a great defender.
And the fact that he got an MVP, and the fact that
Y'all is my guy. I'm not.
You got 2 of them. You got 2 DPOYs too.
I think the second
hard
ring
for me to consider him a power
separation there.
But that murderer's row in the 2000s. That was a different type of power forward, like competition wise.
It is what it is. We're not saying that
Giannis really had to go head up with. Okay, but anyway, I just think what Jokic had to do. No, but that's the thing. Jokic doesn't just play a traditional center game. This man runs the offense a lot of the time. That is what I'm saying.
How many times they give it to Giannis at the top of the key and say, make some offense?
I'm not talking about Giannis anymore. I'm getting back to the original point about from the center position. You didn't ask Shaq to bring the ball up the court and run the offense. You didn't ask the Dream to do that. You didn't ask Bill Russell to do that. You didn't ask Kareem. That's what I'm saying. He's a unicorn at that position and still get you the other numbers. He can get you 20 rebounds, can get you blocks, can get you steals, can get you assists, like points. He can do it all. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he has a comp. Who's his comp? He don't have one. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think players
he does all that, and he got 1 ring.
Okay.
So eventually your greatness is going to be held against you, just like we was doing with LeBron. LeBron, you're great at everything, but you haven't won anything.
Look. There's a difference. There's a
And
difference.
then now the
when you
greatest
don't have
match
any rings
championship.
and you got one ring to your name, you are made man. All the
You
rest
just
of that
said-
is noise.
He's a made man in Denver.
He's a made
You
man,
just-
period.
You just said that there's no other centers like that, right?
Yeah, it's not.
So that means
That
his
don't guarantee
competition
you gonna win a
is slim to
title.
none. It's slim to none. He doesn't
Was
really
Karl
have no
Malone a great
competition.
power forward? Was Charles Barkley a great power forward?
But
There
they
have been
all
great
had
players
competition, though.
who didn't
That's what
win
you're saying.
titles.
You
Agreed.
gotta be careful. You gotta be
Jokic
careful
had
how you organize the argument. You just said
no.
he's-
The argument
he's a
wasn't
unicorn.
about the team success. It was about him as a player. Yes,
But
his
this is
team
basketball.
haven't reached the pinnacle of championship success year after year after year.
Championships
But
matter
he's
in
played-
basketball. This is not
Of
football.
course, they do matter to a degree, but that's not going to separate me to
To
say
a high
that
degree.
I don't
to a high
put Bill
degree.
Russell as the greatest player of all time because he won more than everybody. Do I? No. I'm not going to say that he's definitively the greatest of all time just because Jordan only won 6 and he won considerably more championships. You do have to take into account what they do on the court as well. That's what I'm saying. Yes, once you win one, if you say he never won, I got you. You have to win to get to be considered in the conversation. But once you win one and you got the MVPs with it, I think that solidifies your case. But if you're saying that you're Allen Iverson and you never were able to win a championship, that don't diminish his skill set on the basketball court, but you weren't a champion. You don't get included in this conversation. Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, these guys don't get included in the conversation. They might have been great individual players, but they weren't able to galvanize their team at any point. Giannis, the person y'all were just talking about, he got one title, and we have not. He has done nothing since he won that one title. And you just now said a second ago, if he put it together again, he might be the second greatest power forward of all time. So I'm using your argument now. You still got to combine your on the court greatness. But once you win, you are in the category.
Giannis has made it just as far as Jokic has post-title, the second round.
Agreed. But MVPs matter.
He has more.
Championship
I'm sorry,
he
does have more.
on the court matters. Giannis has been injured since he won his title and has had no team success and hasn't put up any numbers.
So
Jokic at least put up sensational numbers year in and year out.
It's the scope of where we're putting Jokic. If is he cracking the top 10? Because the top 10 is separate. We start to talk about the rings and things like that. Those matter.
I didn't get into top 10. I said centers. I just kept it to his position for now.
You don't have him top 10.
I don't have to draw up a list.
And now they do.
I mean, I'm always going to give God play more of an edge on my top 10 list, my personal top 10 list. What y'all do with y'all top 10 list?
But let me say this. 10. I don't think you can have the 5th best center all time in your top 10.
He ain't in my top 10 right now.
Okay,
I'm not going.
That's my point.
But I never made that point. That was the point you made. My point was he was top 5 center. I didn't take it to a top 10 overall because that's not even okay. Whatever.
Because it doesn't help your point because he's not top 10 in your opinion.
It wasn't my point. So how would it help my point?
We lost scope of the original conversation.
Exactly.
We're literally arguing over nothing right
I wasn't going.
We're
just
arguing
about
over
him as a center. I said he was an MVP candidate who I don't think we're appreciating what he is doing right now. SGA, sensational season, having team success. We know about the injuries. That's going to help propel him to that MVP plateau. Wemby, I mean, I don't know how impressed you are with 24 points, but that's great. But the defensive prowess, hey, can't take it from him. It's doing stuff we haven't seen. So that puts him at a different plateau. But I don't think we can just gloss over and ignore shit. If the Lakers had better team success this season, what Luka was able to do, if he played more defense, would he get an MVP nod? I don't know. But we can't act like this isn't a competitive MVP race and just wrap it up, throw it up. There's going to be people with different opinions.
I think
who could take it home.
It was competitive until the last 10 days, I think, because there was still arguments to be made for 4 different players. But since 2 have gotten injured, they won't make the 65-game plateau. Denver has benefited from those injuries. So has Oklahoma City. So I think it's kind of gotten to a 2-horse race, the original 2 horses. But now it's just looked at this guy has the better record. This guy's led his team more. It's going to be that 20-point scoring consecutive streak. It's going to be all those things, in my opinion, that just kind of push Shea over the top, though.
Okay. I hear you. From a record perspective, OKC got it wrapped up. I mean, when I see Jokic dominate Wemby like he did, I don't think that was wrapped anything up. I think it said, hey, slow down. Like that guy's still that guy. That's all I was saying.
So let me ask you this question: can the team the team record doesn't matter?
It does matter. That's why.
So if he finishes 12 games over with Oklahoma City finishes 12 games better than Denver, does that play a part?
Yeah, that's why you're gonna win.
Okay.
They're gonna win. I that wasn't my point. I was saying I don't think we can just gloss over. Look at Jason Tatum. I'm not saying MVP, but I think some people didn't forgot this man was hurt. No, I'm talking about Jason Tatum. Yeah, not the MVP. I'm taking it somewhere else now. Some people have forgotten this man just came back from something that people thought was going to keep him out even longer. Yeah. But before that, Jaylen Brown was holding that team down and had them in contention month after month after month to have
deserve more love for MVP.
He do, but we're not going to talk about that because SGA got it wrapped up. So that's what I'm saying. These type of cases will get washed away and won't even be talked about because we can just look back and say that's what history does.
He'll be top 5 now because especially with Cade not qualifying. So, but
yeah,
it shouldn't have come down to that.
Anyway, playoffs or punters will be interesting to keep an eye on that. Let's move over to Major League Baseball. The Baltimore Orioles had a tough weekend in Pittsburgh. Oh, man, it was rough, man. Rough weekend. But they seem to have bounced back this week. Nice little get right series against the Chicago White Sox. Some day games thrown in there. Got another victory today. What have you been saying? What have you been liking? Just to talk to us.
First and foremost, we had to talk about Zach Eflin. We went from him being out for a little bit to on the 60-day injury list. So
he's done for the year. He had surgery today.
He had surgery today, so he made his decision what he's going to do. I didn't know. I didn't hear that. So he made his decision. He had
Tommy John surgery. Yeah,
he had the Tommy John surgery. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get professional. That sucks. Trevor Rogers has been playing above what's been advertised, so we're gonna lean on our ace right now. Jackson Holiday is probably within a week of playing. Back to his position.
Okay.
Blaze Alexander has been playing, I think, above what we expected him to do. So he's still going to be in the rotation. He had a bad error the other day, but he's been playing very well. I think Kobe stays. So that's a good thing. I don't think he goes back to the minors. Sometimes some games we leave too many players on base. I think the 3 games in the loss, we left like 14 players on base or whatever. It's just if we going to get on base, we have a hard time getting on base. Period. So when we get there, we got to find a way to bring our guys home. That's definitely paramount. Second is Pete Alonso. We got to find his groove. We got to find his groove because he's not being the person that we brought. He's not being the definition that we got over here. So he got to find his groove. It's not the end of the world. He still got plenty of time. Like it's only been like 10 games or something like that. So it's nothing crazy. It's just like we got to get them 40 home runs going. We got to get them things going. Gunnar has been playing better. He's no longer afraid of left-handed pitches. He's taking them joints to the wall. So that's good. That's a good sign. Now, is he getting a little bit home run crazy? Possibly. I like to get him to be a little bit more well-rounded, but hey man, he gotta get them runs. So it is what it is. So it's I'm saying a lot right now because I really wanted Zach to be on the staff and that sucks that he got to sit out a whole year. So he's basically just gone, and our pitching staff wasn't the best, so we kind of needed him. But it's not over. But I'm not poo-pooing. I'm not even poo-pooing on our pitching staff. We haven't plummeted to the worst pitching staff. It's just we needed him to be, I think, above average. So I think that takes us a little bit at average at best, and that's not good enough when the bats aren't batting as well as they should. Gavin, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, with the pitching staff, if we can get Shane Baz to be the pitcher that he was 2 years ago, and it's not saying a lot because that ballpark in Tampa Bay was terrible that they played in last year, basically a minor league ballpark. If we can get Shane Baz back in the groove, Trevor Rogers is performing like the ace that they hoped he would be. Hopefully, they can extend him as well. We talk about Gunnar; he has 4 home runs so far this year. Taylor Ward is leading the American League in hits, so he's top of the American League in hits. And he's just been hit. This is his second 4-hit game this year in basically a week. So he's really hitting the ball and seeing the ball great, and that helps with him with playing behind Gunnar. You're going to see those pitches because Gunnar's getting on base, and you have him protect them as well. So they're starting to hit the ball a little bit more. You hope that it continues as it gets warmer. Hope the pitching continues to get better. Like I said, you hope Shane Baz continues to get better. You just signed him to an extension as well. So you getting Jackson back, you're going to solidify that infield. Kobe Mayo is actually not your worst defensive player in your starting lineup, which is you're kind of worried about that. You worry about the outfield now, which is crazy at every position because they've lost a couple balls so far this year. But this was a get-right series against Chicago. You just lost 3 against Pittsburgh. You were in 2 of those games. The Sunday you got blown out, but you could have easily won Friday and Saturday. You sweep the White Sox, and now you come home. So it's looking optimistic. Just got to rely on the offense a little bit more until you're able to solidify his pitching. Until Kramer comes up, I don't think you can call him up until tomorrow. I think so. He'll probably start sometime within the next week. So let's ease everyone's fears. The offense is coming along. Gunnar looks great early on, a lot better than last year. And then you got Taylor Ward hitting it as well. Mm-hmm. Pete Alonso will come around, so I'm not worried about that. But this lineup will hit. It's just they gotta mesh a little bit better. I'm worried about the pitching because if they have to score 6-7 runs to win ball games, that's not what we want.
Well, hopefully Pete Alonso will see some National League pitching this weekend, and his bat will warm up. But you can't say you don't worry about it when you pay a man that type of money. And we are this deep into the season. I know you're looking at it like, look. You want to see a return on your investment.
6-5?
Hey man,
6-6.
6-6.
Show me something like you home this weekend. You know what I mean? You got a National League team coming in the Giants. Like this is the time to show the fans. The yard should be packed. You know what I mean? Should get a good crowd on Saturday, Friday night. Show the fans what they paying for, man. Let's go.
They really made that push for 410 night, so I'd like to see that too.
So we'll see. I would like to see some more base hits, like you were saying, Justin. A lot of swinging for just home runs. I mean, it's cool. We like home runs around here. That's fine, but move the batters along. Go old school with this new pitching. And have you all noticed any difference in batters' approach now? Because of the machine calling the balls and strikes and the challenges and all that kind of stuff. Have you all noticed the guys are taking more chances at swinging away or just trying to make contact? What have you all noticed with that?
I think they're swinging for the fences, the Danny the whole league.
Like batting practice. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed it too.
It's like analytics has I ain't gonna say triple baseball, but it's like
taking away.
If you can, why are you getting a double if you can bring 2 people home?
Yeah. Because it's like you feel like the pitcher almost has to throw you a strike. You know what I mean? Like if you do look and watch it, you can challenge it and be like, oh, it was a ball. You know what I mean? Like that's your backup now. It is the hitters really do have even a greater advantage that you really should take advantage of. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I think there's a strategy there that will kind of work its way out the longer we get into this season. And pitchers will become more sophisticated as they continue to figure it out. Which is you probably only would have had 2 starts, maybe 3 at this point going in now. So as you get more starts under your belt, you'll understand what that strike zone is. It's not as liberal as in the past. So that's going to be an adjustment. It's going to be interesting to watch as the season goes along. Let's keep it moving. National Football League, been some changes this week. We've heard some different things come out as far as some rule changes might be coming down the pipe. Talking about The schedule might be changing. I mean, there's been a lot of conversation around that coming out of the winter meetings. NFL draft is upcoming. And
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. And Mendoza announced that he will not be attending the draft in person. Rather, will be celebrating with his family. That's also been a headline coming out this past week. And then there was a discussion about Lamar Jackson that took place early this week as a mini camp. Off-season workout.
Voluntary.
And it was like the picture that went around the world, the video around the world was Lamar Jackson showing up to voluntary workout. And Dan Orlovsky went on ESPN that morning talking about, I don't know why Lamar's not there. And then, of course, it comes out that Lamar
5 minutes later.
Was that before or after he cried on air?
He cried on air?
He brought out his autistic son, and there's no. I'm not.
That was after that. That was around the Super Bowl.
I thought that was recent.
I thought it was.
His son was on air doing something at the ESPN.
I thought it was like
studio.
after the Super Bowl. I thought it was last month. I didn't think it was too recent because he hasn't been on ESPN a lot post Super Bowl. So
Okay.
Okay.
I know he had got into it with Pat McAfee real bad. Pat McAfee kind of grilled him because Dan said that Mendoza shouldn't go number one.
The Ty Simpson stuff. That was last week. That was last week.
He was on ESPN that week for sure. That was like 2 weeks ago. And then he went on Pat McAfee show and Pat lit into his ass. And they really got into it really bad. But no, he got on ESPN Get Up the other morning and kind of criticized Lamar for not showing up to voluntary. And then, of course, here come the video. Lamar walking in with a I Love Jesus t-shirt on.
Shout out to the Ravens media. Shout out to the Ravens media team because they waited for that.
And that man has so much egg on his face. But look, it's a good look for Lamar to be at minicamp. I mean, voluntary.
I hated Mangini's comments too.
Go ahead, talk about it.
With Mangini basically saying, is this a good look for him finally showing up to voluntary workouts? Like, if he didn't show up, you got a problem with it because he shows up and he didn't show up under Harbaugh. Now it's an issue. Like, he can't win. He can't win. But I digress.
The new coaching regime, new offensive coordinator. I think any extra time you can get with the new coach, I mean, it's good time. You know what I mean? You should be there. Get acclimated to the playbook. Get familiar with the system. How much you're going to do in those type of drills and things of that nature. But I think it's not a bad thing that he's there. I mean, at this point, we know that he wasn't for the previous regime, and a lot of that was Todd Monken, but Harbaugh went with him. Fine. Let's move on. Jesse Minter's the guy, new offensive coordinator. Let's go to work. Justin, your thoughts?
One, that Dan thing was the 2nd, of April. So it definitely just happened. But it was still before the Lamar showing up. So ain't that low. I'll say that. But shout out to Lamar. But I have a funny story with this. Somebody on Ravens something posted whatever you just said, right? Him working out. And I definitely went to the comments and said, not a goddamn pass was thrown. I put that. But then and somebody liked that comment that I said. That person was Kyle Hamilton. He definitely liked what I said.
Kyle Hamilton and
I also said within that same post, I'm just hating those. I did put that there. So to his credit, he liked something that hater said.
Don't be giving us no negative pub on to get out the damn.
I admit it to me being a hater, so I don't want to. I ain't throwing Kyle on the bus, but
besmirch our name.
It was good. It was good to see, man. It was good to see that he was out there. I think it was just a win-win. Just like, just shut up everybody in one workout that she was going to work out anyway. You know what I'm saying? The things that he was doing, the little running and all that stuff, he was going to do that anyway. So if you would have just did that there, just for one day, you could just do it for one time. 2 hours. 2 hours solved so much negativity that when it came your way via the media. So I commend Lamar for just taking a step and just not having to deal with it. He didn't have to, but you still got to deal with that now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no, next question. You can say next question all day. those questions are going to keep coming every single time you show up to talk. So it's over. It's over and done with. New regime, new coach. Let's head to wherever you want to end up. That's just all
onward
it is. So
and upward.
2 hours saved a bunch of headaches. Shout out to Lamar.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, slow. The draft is coming up. I really don't know, much beyond what the Ravens are thinking about doing. They got their first round pick back. Calvin, have you looked at this draft? Have you examined where they're going? Justin, get ready with your Tampa Bay outlook as well. What have you seen?
So whatever y'all pick, we got to go off of.
Calvin, what have you seen? What are they targeting? What you think they should target?
I think they have a couple different players. They talk about the Ruben Bain and not liking his arm length and how short his arms are for a pass rusher, so he can kind of drop and this is someone that was probably 2 or 3 in most of the mock drafts going into shortly after the college football season. They can go a number of different ways. You still have tackles and Spencer Fano out of Utah. You still have Tyson, the wide receiver out of USC. I think they're going to let the board kind of play out and fall to them. I still think they trade back, especially if depending on how far Jordan Love, the running back from Notre Dame, falls. If he falls close to 10, you're going to have teams trading up. You're going to have Dallas. You're going to have Carolina. You're going to have teams wanting to trade up to get him. And I think that sweet spot is 10 with Cincinnati, who wants to go defense or wants to go offensive lineman as well. So I think this is really a case of best player available, as long as it's not a safety. It's sad to say, but it's a case of best player available for the Ravens. They can go one of a number of different directions. It's one of the reasons why I think they haven't signed Njoku yet, is because this is also a deep tight end draft, and you can get a second string caliber tight end on day 2, day 3 of the draft. So we're monitoring that situation as well. But it's a number of different ways they can go, and I think it's going to shake out based off how the board shakes out. If Jordan Love starts to fall, you're going to see teams wanting to trade up. If offensive linemen start to fall, you're going to see the Ravens probably pick an offensive lineman. If receivers start to fall, you're going to see teams like Washington take a receiver. So it depends what happens. I think you just wait for the board to shake out if you're the Ravens, but you're liable to get the best player, the second best lineman, the second best receiver available, even Ruben Bain, who's going to be the third best defensive end. So it's just a matter of what happens before them.
All right. Justin, Tampa Bay.
Right. Very similar. I think it's defense first. I think we solidify the edge, try to find whoever the best edge rusher. But like you say, if there's a run of edge rushers, then you got to pause in a sense, right? If you can't get Kendrick Falk out of Auburn, then you fall back. There's others that's projected to go higher than him. So you try to go cornerback. I guess that's number 2 for us. There's a good chance that we might get Jamal McCoy out of Tennessee. That's a good spot. But like I said, if somebody wants a cornerback, they jump up and get him. Then okay, let's go back to the drawing board. That's the type of game that we have to play. I don't necessarily want to go linebacker. I think we solidify certain things via free agency and things like that. Or do you just say F it? Like, let's wait to the second round and you go first round. I think the only position of need that we have, I think strongly, is another tight end, like a playmaker, a Kyle Pitts type of a tight end. Clearly, he was top 5 in his draft, so I'm not saying that. But if you see someone that kind of similar to his metrics, then yeah, you might go after a tight end like that, because there are a lot of them, but it's a few of them that's like head and shoulders above, better than anybody else. But that's just see where we at. So it's a lot of different ways we can go about it. I still think with no one liked the way he is. I think the shock pick was last year, picking up Mbuka, which paid dividends clearly, especially leading into this year. So that was the shock. I don't think he does that too much. He's kind of conservative. So I think he falls back and just finds the best available defensive player, and then we see what happens from there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The draft is always subject to trades, teams making decisions at the last minute. So we'll see if anything big happens, and those trades can sometimes impact what teams' draft boards look like in the real time. So I think this draft is going to be one of the more interesting ones we've seen in a while because of what the quarterbacks look like at the top. We don't really have that big offensive lineman that I think is going to be like, oh, you got to go get this guy. We'll see. We'll see. I think the Ravens should be definitely looking for offensive linemen for sure. We saw Falele signed with the New York Giants today. A great pickup by John Harbaugh. Tremendous decision by
Great
you.
pickup by your Giants. You know,
hey, you always
can't
need
wait
a backup.
Can't wait to see him block for Cam Scatterby.
You always need a solid rotation guy. You know what I mean? He hasn't missed a start in 2 years.
He's just starting left tackle.
Hey, and watch the improvement he puts together. Y'all know I'm joking, but still, we'll see how things go for him up there. Let's keep it moving. WWE WrestleMania is on its way. Another week of build. A lot has happened in the past week. I mean, we haven't been here since the whole Pat McAfee thing took place on Friday night. That really altered the WrestleMania trajectory for that Cody and Randy Orton matchup. We saw Pat McAfee be the guy who was on the phone with Randy Orton. A lot of people backlashed against that, even though the rating for the show was actually the highest rating the show has done probably in a year and a half, I think it was. So people were interested in the mystery of it all. We'll see if they were pissed off. But it happened in the first segment. Huh?
Let's say if they were shot for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, but that reveal happened in the first segment, and the show only grew from there. So that even tells you it didn't turn people off, or there was other things on the show that people were entertained by. I don't know. Didn't bother me as much, but I'm not a fan in that sense of the word, I guess. So
do you think that's it? That's the question.
I think it was a Ari Emanuel call, as the reports have basically come out and said, because of the TKO, ESPN tie-in. Pat McAfee basically is ESPN's poster child right now, and they wanted that tie-in together. And I think that's pretty much it for that. He'll be in Randy's corner. I think it's a way to try to get boos, you know what I mean? But people are still going to cheer for Randy Orton. He's Randy Orton. Yeah, it is what it is.
Agreed.
So, I thought it was silly. What was your thoughts on it, Calvin?
I agree. It was silly. It downplayed a major storyline. I wonder if it's just setting up something more. I still think it's. I'm hoping it's more, maybe more so than thinking it's more, but very underwhelming when it came out to just be Pat McAfee coming back as in Randy's corner as a heel. It was very underwhelming. In my opinion, I expected more, and maybe because I still think we're spoiled from WrestleMania 40 and the ending to Cody's story, and we're spoiled by that, and we're hoping for something like that every year. And I don't want Pat McAfee to be another Travis Scott. That's what I don't want to happen, but I fear that's what's going to happen. Even though, but the only difference the only difference is Pat will be there regularly, and Pat will put on a better show. But that's what he's going to be reduced to, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's the celebrity tie-in. Yeah. Justin?
Yeah, I just wish they'd just have better direction in time. So I know injuries and things like that derail certain things. But I guess people thought like that was a TKO decision, like right then and there. No, this was decided weeks ago, months ago, in a sense, right? And they just happened to pull the trigger when they did. But I don't like the message. The message was messed up. Like it didn't, like he didn't go over that. He went over the fact that how fiery he was going to be, but he didn't necessarily go through the details of what he was saying. Like he's saying like it's not being like the event's not being sold. Well, Randy's a part of the event that's not being sold, but you're highlighting the person that's already a part of it. That didn't make sense. The Attitude Era. Randy wasn't part of the Attitude Era. Randy is the ruthless aggression era. Yeah. So like, what are you? You're dating back to pass him? Like, what are you saying? Like, if that's the case, just bring back somebody that was from the Attitude Era to convey that message. So it was just a few things like that. I was just like, yeah, you didn't necessarily read that out. And it's just people were just pipe bombing, and it's just not going over well for me. Like, Punk had a pipe bomb on Monday. It was just like, yeah, okay. So we're supposed to believe that you're the one that's saying the ticket prices are low because you said that they're going to drop the prices. Okay.
They did.
All right.
Yeah,
it was already happening.
Of course,
I agree. Of course.
Of course. Then I was like, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's like 40-year-old me. Like, if I was 12 and 15, and maybe I would believe all this. So like it's just sometimes I gotta circle back around to that.
You no longer believe in the magic
part of it. It's just like
you're jaded.
Really. Oh, he said Pat McAfee. He said McAfee. Watch out now. Okay, all right.
But I think you made your own point in a way. This doesn't budge me at all. I didn't get up in arms. I didn't get upset. I thought it was dumb. You know what I mean? I just moved on my day because I never liked the match to begin with. So it's like, okay, this is another match on a 14-match 2-night card. Like,
True.
Okay, I mean, it's Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Like, that doesn't excite me. Add something to it. I don't care. Whatever. I'm here for Femi and Brock, CM Punk and Roman Reigns. A ladder match with a lot of great workers in there that I'm kind of excited for. Seth and Gunther, I think they're going to put on a hell of a show. I'm excited for Drew McIntyre and my man Jacob Fatu. Like, there's enough matches on this card. Shit, Stephanie and Liv actually got a little heat now with the look. You know what I mean? Like,
we gotta say best wishes to Roxanne and Liv because somebody dropped the ball. Whether Stephanie pushed too hard, whether Roxanne, if you know, if Roxanne was looking down,
they did not see it coming.
She was supposed to be looking. Like something happened that it did not go over well, and they really could have hurt each other.
They hit heads, and then I don't think the TV did anything, but when they clopped heads, ooh, that was bad. They both was in concussion protocol. But apparently Liv is going to be all right. That's cool. But I just think there's enough on this Mania card that I think they've done a great job. I think it was a slow build. They done a great job
with
rebounding.
Limited time. They got like 10. They give them like 10. Everybody else get like minute segments. They've been giving them like 10-second segments the last few weeks, and it's working. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
But I thought the follow up to Brock and Oba every week has worked. Every week it's been similar. Some weeks
didn't run out of time,
but you only got 1 week left. I think you don't need to do nothing else at this point.
It's like if they go at it, then you're going to see the exact same thing when they fight. So you can't
pull back.
You got to pull it back. You got to pull it back. You know, to get a holy shit
satellite. When we talk about satellite interview, like keep one at home. Film Brock like from his ranch or something like that. Like, no, we tried to contain you guys. We couldn't do it. We're just gonna keep you here. You keep that. I think they've done a sensation. The crowd was eating it up. That legitimately could be for the world title, and nobody would have a problem with it. Nobody. That's my point. They not cast right. It's a miscast situation. If Brock was the champion instead of Cody right now, and Oba was going for that world title, you telling me that's not legit a Mania main event right now? It is.
Do you think it's going to be a squash?
No.
Yeah, okay.
I think Brock will win though.
I don't think squash is what we care about. I'm not even knocking that. I'm not even knocking that.
I think Brock will win.
Like I said, I think they both get one off each other. I wish Oba win.
I think Oba gets the first one though.
I hope Oba win. I'm just talking
Oba gets the first one.
But there's no way.
The way they've set this up, Oba has got the upper hand like consistently. He's a main man.
That's why I'm pissed off. I'm like, yo, I need Brock to kick his ass one time. Like, I need him to kick his ass one time.
He got to kick his ass this week.
Because if not, I'm like, yes.
It's telegraphed. Yeah. Because you don't just dominate Brock every time. You know what I mean? Like,
did he dominate him on Monday?
He put him through the table.
This past Monday?
Dominated him. It was back and forth, huh?
This past Monday?
Yeah, didn't they go through the contract signing table, the black table?
Oh, I mean, after that, they were throwing chairs and stuff back and forth, and
went through something. And
so kind of even.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was great. It was great.
If you didn't see, Oba had he did like a caricature. Somebody did a caricature of them playing tennis, but instead of the tennis ball, it was the chair.
The chair.
But yeah, I liked it. So I got a little bit more information on the whole Rey Mysterio thing. he wasn't clear until this past week. So they had already made the decision. We're just going to move forward, Seth and Gunther, but Ray still wanted to be on Mania. I'm like, all right, so this guy coming off injury, and you put him in a ladder match?
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on that? Because I'm going to give you mine.
I think they like, all right, Fragile, go out there and do something. Like, you want to be on the card, go earn your spot. Like, you can't stay healthy. Because I would have put Ray Phoenix in that spot. Like, come on, man. He's sitting on a silver platter. Like, I don't know.
Now, this is what I think. And I don't care what anyone else says. 100%. I think Ray was like, look, I'm not stupid. I see the direction.
He's not getting retired. Yeah,
I'm not getting retired. That's what they're doing. So with that being said,
so
let me go ahead on it. Oh, my back.
You think he milked it?
And then as soon as they say, all right, Gunther, go ahead after Seth.
Yeah.
You know, I can pull out one more match
you cool?
because I really want my son to go ahead on and retire me, because that's the Mexican heritage way, and I'm gonna sell everything Mexican that I can so that Dom, because you realize Dom brought up his father on Monday Night Raw. For Dom to be the person to retire him, because he's still getting retired. It's just like, look, man, I see how them dudes went out. My son is wrestling. Their sons wasn't wrestling. So please give me that honor. And I think that's where they're going with it.
Yeah, I don't think they was going to wrap Ray up in 2 months or nothing like that, because he wasn't planning to retire yet. But I do think he was going to get the match, and some shenanigans might be in there, whatever like that. But either way, this is for the best. You know what I mean? Gunther's beating Seth. I mean, I don't think it's going
to be clean, though.
No, I think your boy coming back, cost him the match, and then that
Braun coming back for sure.
Yeah, Braun coming back. He ready. He's
ready now.
Yeah. Is Carmelo Hayes gonna make this a triple threat? He got one more week.
I think he shows up on WrestleMania, so he'll get a WrestleMania credit.
He appears, but he's not in the match.
But he's not going to have a WrestleMania card.
Which is wild, but it is what it is. I mean,
at this point, it is what it is. But it's effed up, man. It's effed up that they had him lose like that. So now on his record, he got back-to-back losses to Sammy for the U.S. title. Essentially, that's not the best look. Not the freaking Sammy.
Yeah, but Trick gonna get his moment, and hopefully that will be cool to see. But yeah, it would have been nice to get Carmelo.
What we doing with Royce, bro?
I think Royce coming out the night if not the night after Mania, it'll be on SmackDown. But he's going to premiere in a big way. That's what I heard. You know what I mean? I've heard things before, and they changed their mind. But I've heard that they don't want to. That's why he didn't go to NXT. They put him right on the main roster. They want him to be a top guy. So we'll see, man. I think the thing this is you can't put the genie back in a bottle. Ketchup, once it's out, you can't put it back in. You have to hit whatever they do. You can get away with the Royal Rumble thing was far enough away now. Fine. But when he comes out, he has to be at the top. I think that's even Jacob Fatu is not the level yet. You know what I mean? Jacob need to be shot up some more. You know what I mean? I think he comes out, he has to be up there with Randy, Cody, those guys. You know what I mean? Right off the bat. If you want to premiere him, do it right. You know what I mean? But yeah, even the tag team's not really getting no shine.
I would love for him to come out with Melo. That's what I would think.
As a second?
As the bodyguard, I'm tired of getting screwed over, and just go that route with Melo. Because when I saw Melo and Sammy, and then Trick in the ring as well, I said, Melo is barely bigger paws than Little Yachty. Mm-hmm. He's smaller than Sammy.
He's small.
And you're supposed to be on the trajectory to be a champion in a sense, right? Like your skill set is good enough to be a world champion. Your presentation is good enough to be a world champion. You don't have the look of a world champion, so you're going to need help. I said, well, there's somebody being underutilized 100%. I was like, if you flip that and go the heel route and bring him as your muscle, I can see you taking that next step. But until then, unfortunately, you're just going to be a mid-card, bro.
Yeah.
and it's okay. Some people just not everybody can be world champion.
I mean, look, somebody gotta be in the mid card. I've always said that. Like, man, it is what it is. If you got too many guys that you think should be champion, you're gonna be mad when one of them not. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
It is what it is. It's gonna happen.
Like you're gonna be mad when you think, oh, this guy. Okay, so who you gonna drop there? Then you're like, okay, like Randy Orton. I'm not a Randy Orton guy. I'm on record. But I can't deny that he's a big star, worthy of his spot. And if he left WWE right now, AEW would grab him and put him to the top of the card. You know what I mean? That's the type of. But you got to keep those type of people happy. You know what I mean?
You bring up a good point, and I'm hearing all the EO stuff, right? Like, why wouldn't you get EO versus Asuka? I said, cool. Which card are you taking off? Which match you taking off? Right? Well, and then it's like,
apparently. If you look at the cards right now, there are only 7 matches. There's 7 matches on night 1. There are 6 matches on night 2.
It's 6 on night 2?
It's 6 on night 2. 6 on night 2. If the 7th match would be Io and Asuka, but Nikki Bella got injured. If she is not able to recover, they will replace the Bella twins with Asuka and Kairi Sane as a tag team, and then that leaves Io as the odd man out. She'll probably get involved in that match.
I heard very similar to that, but instead of Io, instead of the Kabuki Warriors, I heard Julia and Kiana James taking that spot. Same exact scenario, but
no.
Julia and Kiana. To preserve the Asuka versus Io, which they might sell more than Julia versus Tiffany, which could be on a thing. And then Rhea got hurt, so we don't know how significant that is too. It's crazy, right?
Again, that could be all up in the air, but that was the story I heard. And injuries, man, it happened. But I would still go with Io and Asuka with the whole Kairi thing. Let it play out. And Io has done great work this year. She was world champion last year at Mania, held the title, main evented the women's pay-per-view. Like, she had a lot of shine throughout the year. For her not to get on Mania, it's tough, man. But it happens. You know what I mean?
It happens to people of color. I said on We Talk comments, I was like, look, man. Io, you might not realize this, but they was using you to move along Rhea Ripley's career, so she's not getting necessarily booed because she was getting booed for a little bit, and now they love her. And I was like, this is what it looks like to get shafted, Paul. It happens to us all the time.
The only reason why I say I don't know about that because Io got her time to shine though. Like, remember, she was only supposed to be a transition champion, and she won last year at WrestleMania. Like. She won every time you thought she was about to lose. She won again. She held that title a lot longer than she was supposed to, and she got over. Remember, she beat Bianca. She beat Rhea. She beat Rhea again. She ain't beat her just once. She beat her twice. And I was like, damn, then she beat them both in a triple threat. Like, so I think she got her time to shine for, and then she got the main event of Evolution, which Naomi ruined, but she was on her way to winning that one too, like with the cash in on the Money in Bank. But I'm just saying, like, from a year perspective, Io had the year of her life. That's why a lot of people thought she was in the running for Wrestler of the Year for women. But coming off of that,
all that taken away
you want to follow
the
up.
person that you was tagging with is now still in the championship picture. Is the problem. I'm not saying for her not to be in the championship picture.
The story they've been building is Asuka, Io, and Kairi. I think that's a Mania story. You know what I mean?
I think it is. I think they kind of just subdid it a little bit, and now they're trying to play catch up. I don't think they managed that storyline as much as
Rhea got. Remember, Rhea wasn't supposed to be in no storyline with no Jade Cargill.
Jade supposed to be.
She got removed and got put over there because of all the Bianca stuff. Bianca wasn't ready.
I thought. Why did they flip it on Charlotte? Because it was supposed to be Charlotte, and then they said, "Nah, we're going with Rhea."
Well, they were going to audible to Charlotte. It was always supposed to be Bianca, but
correct. But she's been gone for so.
She's been gone.
Yeah, They were going to do the Charlotte thing, but then they were going to do Charlotte and Alexa Bliss was supposed to do a split and then have them go one-on-one. But they still a tag team, so I'm assuming that's still coming. So they was like, no, we've been getting over doing this. Charlotte and Alexa both said we want to stick with this tag team, make it run a little longer. Then we can build a true story and split for a reason without just no, let's not just drop this right now. Because the truth be told, Charlotte don't like getting booed when she's a babyface. We all
not at all.
Very
sensitive. It's the same thing with Io and Rhea. Charlotte kind of tagged along to Alexa's face over face or whatever.
And she wants to be a babyface. So she felt like her and Alexis together has really kind of rehabbed her a little bit. She enjoys it more when people like her or enjoy her.
You can tell her the way she wrestles. Yeah. She got a boost.
Yeah. So I don't think she was in a rush to want to be back in a feud against somebody who might get her booed again. Even though I think Jade, she was all right. Like I think
Jade is the one. I think Jade was the one to do it.
I think that's the one.
But, judging from the social media, they really like each other. So I think that was
cool. Friends. Yeah. So again, that was kind of a lot of that backstory. And
I'm gonna hold you to the fire right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Does Bianca make an appearance at WrestleMania?
No.
Come on now, talk to me, man. Talk to me.
I don't even see where it logically makes sense.
I know, guys. I just wanted to hear somebody say yes.
maybe night after. You know what I mean? She could be the.
That's true. That's true.
They like to hold them surprises to kick off that
new season.
You know what I mean? But again, it's gonna be interesting, man. I'm not as down on this Mania as some people are. I think a couple of things they've done has kind of, as me, I'm a cynical wrestling fan. At this point, you've been watching it, damn near 30, 38 years, you know what I mean? Like 40 years. You've seen it all. Like, what haven't we seen? You know what I mean? So it takes a certain story, some type of big, like realistic matchup to catch my attention. And this Brock Over thing, it gave me that feeling again a little bit. And then also the promo work from Roman, CM Punk. I like this storyline because it's realistic. I remember the Shield story. I remember how Roman wasn't Punk's pick at all to even be in the group. That was a Vince choice. You know what I mean? And look at it. You know what I mean? And that's an overarching thing that I think some people have picked up on, but many haven't. A story came out about Triple H's text messages. Nick Khan came out about in the lawsuit talking about when Vince pushed his way back into power and tried to undercut Triple H. A lot of people don't really realize how hard Triple H had to maneuver and work to get this dude out of there, because Vince was a terrible guy, but he was going to stay in power, by hook or by crook. And they really had to like pull a coup to get rid of this man. And it's been coming out even more this week. I know a lot of people did not like that those messages came out this week in particular, but the court case is live. You know, Janelle Grant, if y'all don't know, is suing Vince McMahon and WWE. A lot of these details coming out about Brock Lesnar while he's in the middle of a WrestleMania program. There's a lot going on that's really got people not
on board.
Yeah.
Things don't happen unless you want it to happen. I don't care what you say.
As far
as some of the things I've heard, I'm gonna leave it at that.
You think Triple H leaked his own text?
No, I'm talking about some of the things from the some of the things from the show these cases being.
You
know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things that happen that.
If you know the story, it was Triple H and Stephanie who dropped it down. Like,
I didn't know it was them that dropped it.
It was Stephanie, particularly from.
You're gonna say Stephanie, but we know who was really behind it.
You want to say he put up to it?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Who's the benefit of Vince leaving?
That's no one thing they say on any type of cop show.
Come on, man. Like, come on. Nick Khan ain't bother him none. Like, it's Triple H. And he knew that Vince was doing dirty. And people was complaining to him. And that was the only way to get rid of a guy who owned everything. Like, he was the owner. Like, you had to literally get the stockholders to revolt. And this guy still would not go away. Like Freddy Krueger, man. This man would not die. We could do a whole podcast on that story. But anyway, that Wall Street Journal story, and Stephanie just conveniently steps down from everything, and then the story drops. Come on, guys. Come on. 1 + 1 = 2. And they was bad mouthing Stephanie all of a sudden. Like, she wasn't doing her job. 2 weeks later, this Wall Street Journal story drops. Come on, it's not a coincidence. We know what happened. Like, this was a coup. She turned her own father in. I mean, good. I ain't mad at her. I'm just telling you, that's what happened. But everybody, they thought Vince was coming back last Friday night. They thought that's who Randy Orton was talking to.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is, man. They almost kind of wanted you to think that, too. That's probably why the rating was so high. So, there's a lot going on.
It was like, yo, is it Vince?
Yeah,
that's wrestling, man.
Then all of a sudden this week, this story come out, making Triple H look like a pussy, really. But at the end of the day, I get it, man. This guy been like, he's terrible. You know what I mean? You want him gone, you don't want him coming back. All of a sudden, he came back and changing all the scripts again, changing all the stories last minute. But ain't no different than what Ari Emanuel and them doing now. Like, if you ain't the boss, like Tony Khan, you always gonna have somebody making changes to what you try to do. It is what it is. The Rock did it. Remember, Rock came in, changed everything, wanted to make Cody a heel. Like, walked out. Bring Travis Scott. Like, what Travis Scott got to do with anything?
So he owned one, so he'll be at WrestleMania.
I heard they say he might. And a lot of people thought Rock was on the other side of that phone. But I'm like, how could you make that make sense? You could tie it back to the Cody story if you wanted to. We know Pat McAfee and Rock cool. Then people's like,
he makes an appearance at the Roman wins.
Set up that match for next year.
I think you will have the greatest Samoan faculty at the Roman wins, including The Rock. And if you want to say he challenges him, this is where it starts. Yes, this is where it starts.
Well, the story kind of been. Punk has said it multiple times.
Yeah,
you can't do nothing without your cousins.
Yeah,
you can't do nothing without your cousins.
Yeah.
Now, if Rock is the reason he loses, and you know that history, remember back
then,
Punk and Rock,
Yeah.
Punk and Rock, and
between 27 and 28. Yeah,
man, that was crazy time because Punk was pissed.
I think he's there.
That was supposed to be Punk's main event, and Rock came in, swoops in. No, I got it. He beats him at the Rumble. He goes on the face scene at WrestleMania. The next year, Punk supposed to win the Royal Rumble, go on to WrestleMania. Nah, we going to rematch. Rock versus Cena again. Punk quit because Punk was supposed to get thrown out in the Royal Rumble by Triple H because that was a Vince McMahon call to teach him a lesson. Punk walks out, never comes back to WWE for 9 years. So Rock, if you tell that story right, you can tell that story. Rock is really a catalyst why Punk left WWE in the first place.
Because if
a lot of people forget that.
And the rumor is true that he's going into the Hall of Fame next year. It makes everything makes sense.
But why would he go into the Hall of Fame in Saudi Arabia?
About selling tickets. It's about selling tickets.
Millions to show up.
Yeah, it's about selling tickets.
I hope. Well, I'm not gonna hope that
because isn't supposedly the Nation going in next year too?
Nation of who?
Nation Domination
in Saudi Arabia. I don't think so. Farouk ain't going over there, dog. Ron Simmons say
2/3. Wait, 3/4. 3/4.
Now, who? D'Lo Brown,
Mark Henry, and Godfather. I forgot his name for a second.
Godfather, yeah.
No, I forgot his name in the faction. That's what was great. Yeah.
What was the name of the Karma?
Yes.
What was the name Karma at the time? Karma Mustafa?
It was the Godfather.
Not in the Nation.
I don't think he became the Godfather till later.
It was after the Nation.
He was still Karma Mustafa?
Yeah.
I mean, it fits.
I believe so.
He just wasn't doing all that karate bullshit.
Yeah. Because he didn't become the pimp and stuff until like 98, 99 maybe.
No, he was because he was supposed to fight Owen, so it was before that.
Owen died in 99.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's supposed to fight Owen, so he was the Godfather before that because he was fighting Blue Blazer at I thought
it was a tag match with Jeff Jarrett.
No, I thought it was the Godfather, or maybe
it was supposed to be Jeff Jarrett.
Because Jeff Jarrett fought after it happened because he did the interview right after they wheeled him past Jeff Jarrett. He was supposed to fight the Godfather.
He brought in the Godfather in 98.
Okay.
It was 98.
It was after the Nation.
Okay. Yeah. Because the Nation was Farouk,
D-Lo,
The Rock, Ron Simmons, Mark Henry.
Because
Mark Henry
Ahmed
Johnson was in there for a little while.
For a little bit.
Then he turned it in. Yeah. And then you had
he was it was even worse than his Harlem Heat turn.
Owen Hart was in there.
The original caution.
Yeah.
You know, Naomi took that from Owen.
Yeah, Owen was in there. But yeah, interesting, man. Anyway, we almost up at 11 o'clock hours. Been a pleasure tonight. Great show as always. We thank you all for tuning in. Next week, the play-in starts on Tuesday. So Wednesday night during our show, we'll pretty much know because I think they had 2 games on.
We'll know the 7 seeds.
Yeah, we'll know. Yeah, because you'll clinch your 7 seeds on Tuesday. Wednesday will be the loser of both games versus.
No, it'll be the 9-10s on Wednesday.
Okay. And then Thursday is the losers head up, right?
I think it's Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday.
At that point? You got this double elimination. It's not double elimination.
The loser of 7-8 versus the winner of 9-10. So it's a loser and a winner. Yeah,
that's the tournament. So 7-8 play for 7 seed. The winner goes to take the 7 seed. The loser then plays the winner out of 9-10.
Yeah,
and that's the 8th seed.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. We'll be back next week. Any final thoughts?
We'll say that again next week, guys. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll say it next week.
Any final
Look, the best weekend of basketball is coming. The opening weekend of the playoffs when it's 4 games on Saturday, 4 games on Sunday. Hooper's dream. So excited for that.
Justin?
Man, I'm just praying for healthy baseball, man. That's all I care about. Like I said, y'all had to see that reaction on live TV. I don't like that, man. I don't like hearing that bad news on live.
Don't bring me no bad news.
Y'all start softball yet?
We had our first game this past Tuesday. We have a parade this upcoming Saturday, in which I probably won't take too much footage. It's a lot of people that don't let me. I don't like to be a part of that, but you know. No, I love it. I love the squad.
We start coach pitch, so been working on that. So it's been exciting.
Just get the fundamentals down. That's all he needs to do,
bro. They trying to take off my head. I'm like that kneeling right in front of them. That's dangerous. They
wear masks in. Yo, they got masks for you.
Yeah.
Man up.
Yeah, okay. Basically. It sound nice. It sound nice.
My baby hit a first home run from Coach Pitch. Hey, man.
There you go.
Tell him hey over the head.
Were you pitching?
Hell no, I ain't stupid.
With the net. Anyway. All right. This was a good week, man. This was a good week. Shout out to Kirk Cousins. Get paid. That's what we do, baby. We get checks.
Shout out to his agent.
Always do his job, man. Always do his job.
Going to a salary, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Hey,
man.
Beat it. They call him Johnny on the spot.
I don't give a shit. As long as I ain't got to deal with his ass. That's
man. All I saw that 5 years, 170. Like, wait, what am I looking at? 5 years, 170.
Hey, insurance policy. Good job. Tom, no. My man Tom, no. Hey,
Tom third string.
My man Tom. Oh my God.
Y'all can't tell me nothing. Tom Brady say, I know who we need. who been killing Tampa Bay all these years? Kirk Cousins. Oh, come on over, man. You know what I mean? Hey, come on over. Scout report,
let's overpay for a center while we at
it. Hey, Tom, no. I trust Tom Brady. And Tom, we trust. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week for another edition of Get Off the Damn.